Hello, dears, and welcome back to the first episode from IELTS Target Bands. And today we'll focus on Band 5 in our IELTS speaking marking criteria. So we're going to take each criterion in turn. We're going to break down and see exactly what the criteria say and then what exactly you have to do to achieve Band 5. So we're going to start with fluency and coherence. What does the band descriptor say? I'm going to quote: usually maintains flow of speech but uses repetition, self-correction, and or slow speech to keep going, may overuse certain connectives and discourse markers, produces simple speech fluently but more complex communication causes fluency problems. Now, what does that mean? It means that you can create long answers, but in order to do so, you repeat your points word for word, or you correct your own mistakes, or you speak a little slowly. And by repeating your points, you are not developing the answer or giving any details. Self correction is good, but a lot of self correction breaks up your speech. Slow speech can send the examiner to sleep, and then connectives are words like and however, and then discourse markers are words like well at the start of a sentence. And you only need a limited number of these to achieve band 5 for fluency and coherence, but don't use them repeatedly. Your fluency may be fine when you are making simple sentences or talking about familiar topics, let's say about your hobbies, but you have fluency problems when you make more complex sentences or talk about less familiar topics. Moving on, let's see what the band descriptor says about lexical resource. Manages to talk about familiar and unfamiliar topics, but uses vocabulary with limited flexibility and attempts to paraphrase, but with mixed success. What does that mean? It means that you can talk about any topic in the IELTS speaking module, but you're not able to give many details, and you often use the same words in different topics. You may reward points, but again, sometimes the rewarding makes them hard to understand. Then, moving on to grammatical range and accuracy, the band descriptor says produces basic sentence forms with reasonable accuracy, uses a limited range of more complex structures, but these usually contain errors and may cause some comprehension problems. What does that mean? It means that you don't make too many mistakes when using short, simple sentences structures such as the present simple, and you only use a few complex structures such as those containing clauses or conditionals, but they are not accurate. And then the examiner may not clearly understand what you're trying to say. If you do this, you're good to go. You get band 5. And then we're moving on to the last criterion, pronunciation. The band descriptor says shows all the positive features of band 4 and some, but not all, and the positive features of band 6. This is very clear. Not. So, what does it mean? The band descriptors for pronunciation are the least helpful than the others because pronunciation features are frequently mentioned but they're never explained. So basically, for band 5, the examiner can understand you most of the time, but you are not using intonation or you're not clearly making the sounds of English, particularly, I don't know, let's say vowel sounds or the th. And often this is a result of your first language pronunciation influencing the way you pronounce words in English. Okay, so to summarize, what do I need to do to get band 5? So, first, you make answers that are longer than a few short sentences. Some repetition, self correction, or slow speech is acceptable, but avoid these problems when giving answers on easy topics, especially in part one of the speaking test. Try to use a variety of connectives and discourse markers and avoid using a few over and over and over. Make sure you can say something about every topic in the test, even if it's limited to a few simple sentences or points. Um, you should master basic grammar so you can actually make numerous mistakes here. You can use a few complex structures and don't worry about making mistakes with them. And with regard to pronunciation, make sure that the examiner can understand most of what you say. So don't worry about intonation or getting sounds exactly right. But then you might say, but wait, I need to get band 5.5. Well, to get band 5.5, you need to achieve band 6 in order in one of the four criteria, and most candidates do this by getting band 6 for pronunciation. So you might want to check the next episode, which is I need to get band 6 in my IELTS speaking test. That will be all for band 5. Thank you very much for listening. Stay tuned because I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do to get band 6 in the speaking test. And basically, this is the threshold. This is where quite a lot of candidates and students struggle to go from 5 to 6. Thank you very much for listening. I do hope to see as many of you next time. If you found this episode useful, please give me a thumbs up or a comment, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Once again, thank you very much for listening. See you next time. Until next time, take care of yourselves, keep learning, keep exploring. Bye bye.